give you that shot 100 times, you'll never make it again. It's like something you do on ice skates. This ain't hockey, Frazier, okay? This is basketball, a good American game.
Well, perhaps it has become Americanized, Ray, but like many things Americans lay claim to, it originated elsewhere.
Get out of here.
No, it's a fact. Basketball was invented by a Canadian.
Look, just because some fisherman once slam-dunked a halibut into a net...
Well, actually, he was a minister who used a soccer ball and he nailed peach baskets to either end of the gym.
This is very sad, Frazier.
Of course, Reverend Naismith did eventually emigrate to the United States. As a matter of fact, he was working at a YMCA in Springfield, Massachusetts, of all places, when he stopped the car.
What?
Someone's parked in a fire zone.
So?
Well, for one thing, it's dangerous. For another, it's disrespectful of the law.
Frazier, parking illegally in this town is a sport.
All right, I'll catch up.
Hey! You're gonna drive my insurance rates to the roof.
Excuse me, sir. Benton Fraser, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Perhaps you didn't notice that sign when you parked your car, but you're in a fire zone.
Oh, is that so?
Yes. And the problem is, you see, if the trucks were to come, they wouldn't have a source of water for their fire hoses.
You do know what you can do with your fire hose.
Well, yes. If I was unable to circumvent your vehicle, I'd pull up that sign, drive it through the side windows, and run my hoses in between. But that's just me.
Leave me alone, Jocko.
Hey. License and registration, pal.
Register this. Enough guys.
I think I hit a tire.
We better get you out of the street. You'll be okay here. I gotta go.
Who are you?
Long story.
Stay.
I'd like to.
God, you're beautiful. Was this woman.
Uh-huh.
I just opened my eyes and there she was. The most beautiful woman I ever saw.
Uh-huh. How long was he unconscious?
4, maybe 5 minutes.
She pulled me to safety. And then she kissed me.
Uh-huh.
She kissed you?
On the lips.
Head injury. It happens.
Did she speak to you?
She wanted to stay. I know she did. And then she was gone. She wants me to find her, Frazier.
Uh-huh.
You stop with the uh-huh?
Do you remember what she looked like?
She looked exquisite.
Uh-huh.
Definite hit and run. Skid marks everywhere. Nobody saw the driver.
She must have gone that way.
What do you mean, she?
Well, there was no one else on the street, Ray.
You think it was her? She saved my life.
Well, yes, she did. After she hit you.
There's something you have to see.
I'm telling you, it was an accident. She was driving at night in a strange neighborhood with bad street lighting. Okay, so maybe she was nearsighted.
He actually stopped a guy in the South Side to lecture him on fire safety.
Well, it's Saturday night and he's Canadian.
Good call.
Okay, so I ran the plate on that car you brought in last night. Vehicle's registered to Frank Bodine, 1177 West Flournoy, apartment 12. He's got 1,450 in unpaid parking tickets and an expired registration.
Any priors?
That's a different program. This is just vehicular. So, Fraser, how's the apartment furnishing coming along?
Very well, thank you, Elaine. As a matter of fact, I recently purchased a lamp.
Really, a lamp?
It's very good for reading.
Is that what you do at night?
Elaine, we got work to do here.
So, what are you reading with this new lamp?
Well, I've been reading a book about currency watermarks.
Hello? Here we go. Bodine, Frank, a.k.a. Frank Bimington. August 89, breaking and entering, 1 year suspended. March 90, receiving stolen property, got 18 months in Joliet, did 8. November 94, possession of illegal weapons, case pending, 250,000 bail posted.
No wonder he didn't want us running his license. What about the woman?
You know, funny thing, I'm having a hard time matching the word exquisite to a lot of mugshots.
So you want me to authorize a stakeout for a weapons violation?
Oh, assault weapons, sir. A whole trunk full of them. Now, we can put out an APB on this guy, but he's one nasty piece of work, and I don't think he's just coming in for anybody. So naturally, I'm thinking stakeout.
Right, I can't blame you, Vecchio. Stakeout is such a romantic notion. In fact, I'm still tingling from the last one you asked me to authorize.
Oh, the hotel scam, sir? Well, that was not your average stakeout, sir.
Oh, it certainly was not. I remember the hotel bill as if it were yesterday. Poolside cabana suites, aquatic aerobic lessons.
Suspect like to swim, sir.
The thrill of toting up that $4,000 minibar tab.
It's the honey roasted peanuts, sir. One bag and they got you.
Do you ever feed this wolf?
I'm so terribly sorry, sir, but I think it's the urban influence. He seems to have developed a real taste for fast food.
All right, 2 teams, 2 spotters, 1 apartment. No minibar.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
You don't get them by Friday, that's it.
Right.
If I give him some, will he stop?
Not a chance, sir. Thank you kindly, Lieutenant.
She says 60 seconds in a minute. Any 4 hours in a day. 365 days a year, and I don't care what you say. And if you don't have time to love me, I'm gonna make you pay. 'Cause there's no time like the present, and there ain't no time like now. Don't worry about what time it is, 'cause there's no time in this town. Well, a man can find his trouble 100 ways or more. A woman finds her trouble just waiting at her back door. She says, I can't love you tomorrow, I ain't love you today. There's no time like the present, and there ain't no time like now. But don't worry about what time it is, 'cause there's no time in this town.
things over?
I want to talk about it.
Talk about it.
Talk about it.
It's about time, thank you.
Come on, only 5 minutes late.
5 minutes too late, thank you.
Hey, Deke, how you doing?
Guys play any cards while we were away?
That's around a little.
Well, there's no time in this town.
How many you want, Fraser?
None, thank you.
None? How many?
None.
Give me 3. It's all about signs.
2. What do you mean signs?
Women give you signs to let you know that they're the right woman for you.
She hit you with her car. You call that a sign?
You know, when the French fall in love, they say that they've been hit by a coup de foudre.
Uh-huh. What?
It's a bolt of lightning. Love is a very disorienting emotion. As a matter of fact, they've done experiments that demonstrate that hamsters, when they're mating, secrete a hormone that makes them behave irresponsibly.
You know how my father knew that my mother was the right woman for him?
3.
Cheesecake.
Look, I hate to interrupt, but are we playing cards here or are we talking about cheesecake?
All right, I'm in.
Thank you.
He was at his brother Angelo's wedding in Gary, and everybody was having a great time. They were drinking wine, making toast, and eating, and all of a sudden, he looks across the room, and he sees this woman sitting there all by herself eating a piece of cheesecake with a knife and fork. I mean, come on. How often do you see a person eating a piece of cheesecake with a knife and fork? They either eat it with their fingers or just a fork.
Is that why he married her? Because she was eating a piece of cheesecake with a knife and fork?
No, Gardino, it was a sign. That's how he knew that she was the right woman for him. She was a lady.
You gonna call her what?
I don't know.
Come on, Louis, it's only match
I don't
stakes.
know. Look, I can't see why we don't play for real money. I mean, we're cops. What are we gonna do? Arrest ourselves?
No, but he will.
I'm sorry, I would feel honor-bound.
Great. I think there's 2 million women on this planet you could be happy with. I mean, you meet one, you gotta ask yourself, this is number 1, number 2 million, or number 617. It's a crapshoot, you know. You could settle for number 617 and tomorrow meet number 11. I raise.
Okay. Then Phyllis was number 2,000,001. She drove me crazy. She had a voice like a parakeet. Never shut up. And then there was Vanessa. She was number 2,000,002. She came from a family of meatpackers. You know, you visit your in-laws on a Sunday and you come home smelling like a pork roast.
You gonna raise, Fraser?
Well, I'm just wondering if I should. Perhaps you can refresh my memory. Does a straight beat when they're all the same kind?
Not even in Canada.
I got trips. You know, the only sign I ever got was from Janice. That took 5 years.
What was it?
It's from her lawyer. Came in the mail.
So there we were, parked in the Riviera. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and she asked me where do I think this relationship is going.
Look, call or fold.
I mean, come on, what kind of question is that to ask somebody at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Perhaps she was just being prudent.
Are you in?
Fraser, nobody who's prudent has any business being in love. I'm telling you, man, it was a beautiful summer night and there was a soft breeze coming in off the lake. This is no time to sit and talk about the future.
The future is it's going to be noon before we finish this game.
See, talk is bad. You talk and before you know it, it's all over. You're married.
Right, and then what? What about love? What about that moment when you know that this is the woman you want to spend every waking hour with for the rest of your life?
Okay, my turn. I call. Look at this. I'm playing poker with myself.
I'm telling you, you got to have that moment in your life when you know that you will never, ever be the same again.
When it happens, how do you know?
You just know. You just know. And that's what happened to me on Saturday night. I got the sign.
Now all you gotta do is find her.
Hey, I'll find her. I'll find her.
I got a flush.
Well, I'm sorry, Louis, but it would appear that I have a royal house.
A what? It's a full house, Fraser.
Oh, so it is. I'm terribly sorry.
Look at this. A Mountie sandbagging. Who ever heard of a Mountie sandbagging?
You only meet the woman of your dreams once in a lifetime. I'll find her. You watch.
Meanwhile, you want a deal?
Huh?
Deal.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there was a woman once, Ray.
We were, I don't know what we were. In the end, I tracked her up above the 62nd parallel into a place called Fortitude Pass. A storm had been blowing for days. The whole world was white. By the time I found her, I'd lost everything. My packs, my supplies, everything. And she was huddled in the lee side of a mountain crag. She was almost frozen, very near death. So I staked a lean-to and draped my coat across it, drew her inside, and I covered her body with mine, and I just held her while the storm closed around us like a blanket, until all I could hear was the sound of her heartbeat, weakening. I forced her to speak to me. Just talk to me. Say anything to keep the cold from taking her. And it snowed for a day, and a night, and a day. I was delirious. I almost gave up. The only thing I had to hold on to was the sound of her voice, which never wavered. She recited a poem. You know the funny thing? I must have heard that poem 1,000 times that night. But I never heard the words. It ended badly. She had a darkness inside her. And the most beautiful voice. Most beautiful voice you ever heard.
Got somebody entering the building. Copy. Someone's coming in.
He's in the apartment. She's gone to the wardrobe. She's taking some clothes.
Frazier, it's her.
She's coming out. Stop.
Dave!
Oh, that is it. You're cut off, bucko.
Please, hold it.
There she goes, Frazier. Woman of my dreams. It wasn't a sign, Frazier. It was an omen. Why didn't I see it?
Well, anyone can have a lapse in judgment, Ray.
No, this is not a lapse. This is my life, Frazier. You know, every time I think I found the right woman, she turns out to be the wrong one. And the one that I thought was wrong, we'd make a date, and I'd never show up. 6 months later, I'm sitting in some pew, and I'm watching her walk down the aisle with some goomba. And I'm thinking that's her. That's the one. How did I let her slip through my fingers?
Ray.
This one I would have bet my soul on, and here she is working for Frank Bodine.